Hello.
Chloe, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I love Nomadland, and I just such a beautiful film, and it affected me so deeply. What was the experience making that film and then going to something a big Marvel movie like this? How did this happen for you?
Well, I wanted to do it, so I was so lucky that I was given the opportunity. I have always, growing up, I wanted to be an animator.
Mm,
So anime and manga, these are important part of my life. Telling stories in genre movies, telling story in a fantastical and allegorical way. I find that's actually a really important part of the history and the future of storytelling. Is and obviously I do it very differently how I started my career, but it doesn't mean I like to stretch that muscle that I have.
absolutely. Now, how aware were you of the history since it started when Jack Kirby came up with these characters? How aware were you of the Eternals and what they were?
No, I was not aware. I think like a lot of people, I didn't know about the Eternals, and only after I was given an opportunity to read the treatment for the film, and I was hired, and then that's when I started to dig in further, and I was very impressed. And I think that the spirit of how Jack Kirby created these characters stayed with us through the entire making of this film because he decided to step out of what was popular at the moment. These popular characters with their popular themes and heroism, that things that we're familiar with. He said, "No, let me take a step back and look at what's around it and what's beyond it, and let's create these group of heroes that are completely separate from the mainstream narrative. So I get to explore something outside of it, and that's how you continue to grow. And
Mm.
it's harder for people to accept it. It's harder to digest, but it's
Yeah.
brilliant.
There's such a massive scope here, and this is such a beautiful film. What was your inspiration with working with this DP, and how did you guys find the look and the feel? This is just amazing looking film.
Thank you. Yeah, our
Yeah,
DP Ben Davis, and
yeah.
I think the movie that Ben and I initially thought, what's the movie that we both love? Because Ben come from independent film as well. That's how he started. And what's the movie we both love that really go as big as it can get in scale and also as intimate as it can get? And it turned out to be Tree of Life.
Oh my gosh.
So Tree of Life is a film that we watch, like everybody, is sort of our spirit film, as you know, and we have a DVD of it in our office, like right by the hard drives on the wall, because that's a film that explores the beauty of the meaning of the cosmos,
Mm-hmm.
huge ideas of why we exist, who we are as humanity, through one family and the tragedy of losing one of the family members. Does that sound familiar to you?
Yeah, a little bit.
And you even have the creation of the universe. And when the Eternals lined up on the image you've seen on the cliff,
Yeah.
we were blasting that operatic music from the creation of the universe in Tree of Life for everyone to listen to. So that really, and then Ben and I look at that and go, so that's the direction we're gonna go. Wide angle lenses, deep focus. You get to do it in an anthropological way. Camera isn't gonna do fancy tricks for you. What's gonna happen within the frame is supposed to develop, and so the audience can explore within the frame. That's something I've done in the past as well. And he was made a really important decision for me, suggesting for my DP from the past, Josh Richards, to come in and operate the camera. So that way that we have a shorthand instead of just get another operator
Yeah.
that never worked before, someone who has operated all my films in the past. That collaboration was really important between the three of us.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, and you can tell there was. I feel like this is the first Marvel film that was inspired partly by Tree of Life. I love that so much.
And also I gave a shout out to the Revenant as well in terms of looking at the Amazon fight sequence. We watch the Revenant a lot.
Oh,
It's just want the audience to feel immersed.
Yeah.
as much as possible.
What is it with these characters, and how, when you were designing when you guys were putting together the script, how did you kind of come up with the storyline, and was there specific stories from the history of these characters that you wanted to work with?
But I was so fortunate enough that when I came in, there was already a beautiful story, not that
Mm,
dissimilar to the bones are very similar. And that was put together by Marvel Studio, Nate Moore, Kevin Feige, and the Furpos,
mm,
the two writers. And then we continue work. I worked on my own. I also work with Patrick along the way. It's all about telling a couple layer stories at the same time. I know we've got 10 characters. Instead of just like giving you a big show of who they are from the very beginning, we have an opportunity to slowly introduce them and allow their character arc to be affected by exactly what happened in certain part of history that affected our society and changed us forever. There are some significant events throughout history, and that also affected this family and each of their character arc and made them who they are today in modern day.
nice. Now, of course, you're probably getting asked this a lot, but do you look forward to the future? Do you see, oh, if because you've come from independent cinema, do you think, oh, Eternals 2, what could we do? How could we go bigger? How could we change? What stories could we tell? Is that even in your mindset right now?
I was encouraged to make a good standalone film.
Mm.
Very encouraged to do that, and I think now the film belongs to you, not me. And we want to see how this child grow in this scary wild world and beautiful world, and then we need to watch and listen and learn and then see where we go from there. But I think uh maybe I'm wrong about this, but I feel like filmmakers, doesn't matter what genre they go in, they tend to make the same movie over and over and over.
Yeah.
And so there's certain themes, there's certain things that I will keep pushing. I'm very happy to go back to make films with five people again.
Wow. And do you know that do you feel, is there a certain character that you kind of related to and would really get excited to explore again if you do get the chance?
From this movie,
Yeah.
um, is they asking me to see which children I want to take you to the party? All of them. Yeah. I also think there's something could be cool. I'm maybe pitching this live to Marvel that they should, not necessarily with me, but the world is expanding real fast. And if they do anything said in the past, any time in history, these guys could show up because they've been here the whole time.
Hmm.
That could be cool.
That'd be cool. And we gotta wrap it up. But you're a delight. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
talking.
Thank you. Bye.